Hello, hello dear student. Myself Arif Khan, working as a senior lecturer in Society Institute of Pharmacy. In this part, we are going to deal with the experiment number 3. Now, as far as the aim of our experiment number 3 is concerned, to determine the boiling point of the given liquid organic compound. Okay, in the experiment number 2, we had studied the melting point of given solid organic compound. Now, in this experiment, we have to determine the boiling point of the liquid organic compound. Now, more or less, most of the things are similar. There is a quite little bit of difference between the assembly of the melting point determination or the boiling point determination. Now, as far as the concept is concerned, so what is vapor pressure? Vapor pressure is actually the tendency of the material to change into the gaseous or the vapor state, and it increases with the temperature. Simply, it's an internal pressure in the each and every liquid, okay, or material. We can say that we have to take it as a liquid. So in this case, the vapor pressure is the internal pressure in each of the liquid that make the tendency to change into the gaseous state or to evaporate or to form the vapors. Okay, so for the formation of vapors to evaporate the liquid, what is the tendency or what is the internal pressure required? That is called as a vapor pressure, and that vapor pressure is increases as we are increasing the temperature. If we are providing the heat to the particular liquid, the vapor pressure or internal pressure is going to be increased. Okay, and second term we have to discuss, that is the atmospheric pressure. So atmospheric pressure, definitely it is a pressure within a atmosphere of the earth or whatever the substance existing into the atmosphere or lies in the atmosphere, the atmospheric pressure will exert on that. Or it is an external pressure, simply due to presence of the atmosphere, each and every component or each and every part exists into the environment will have the atmospheric pressure on it as a part of an external pressure. So you can see that the vapor pressure of the liquid is an internal pressure within the liquid which has a energy, which has a sufficient energy to the liquid molecule to move randomly. And if you are providing the heat, this energy is being increasing, and that vapor pressure again going to be increased, so that is get vaporized or that convert into a gaseous state. The internal energy or internal pressure is called as vapor pressure. Now atmospheric pressure, so it's an external pressure. You can see that this is a liquid interface. So just we had discussed the vapor pressure, which is an internal pressure within a liquid itself, and which has a tendency to escape. But there is a atmospheric pressure also there on an external side, or externally there will be atmospheric pressure on the liquid surface. And say for example, most of the time the vapor pressure, that is this internal pressure, is lesser than that of the atmospheric pressure. If it is lesser, then it cannot overcome the atmospheric pressure. External pressure is normally greater as compared to the internal pressure, and that's why vapor pressure cannot overcome the atmospheric pressure and the liquid cannot evaporate at normal temperature. We are talking this situation at normal temperature and normal atmospheric pressure, normal room temperature and normal atmospheric pressure. So in this case, when the vapor pressure is lesser at room temperature and it cannot overcome the external pressure, that is atmospheric pressure, so the liquid is remain as such in the liquid state, cannot be vaporized. Okay, and that's why we can say that at normal temperature or at the room temperature, the molecule is, or the substance is exists into liquid form, cannot be vaporized. Those which has a boiling point greater than room temperature, we are discussing about the temperature or the boiling point of the liquid substance which has a greater than room temperature. So in such a cases, the liquid is exists into the, or the substance exists into the liquid state at room temperature, because the vapor pressure is lesser or cannot overcome the atmospheric pressure. External pressure will be greater one. Now, so these two terms we had discussed: vapor pressure, internal pressure of a liquid, and the atmospheric pressure, which is an external pressure. Okay, and according to these, there is a scientific definition of the boiling point. These two concepts are useful to study the definition of boiling point. So as far as the new concept, the definition of the boiling point: the boiling point is the temperature at which the vapor pressure of the liquid, that is an internal pressure of a liquid, become equals to the atmospheric pressure, and that is the external pressure, okay, exerted by the surrounding, is called as boiling point of a liquid. Means the temperature at which the both pressures are equal, or one can say that the vapor pressure become equal or greater than that of the external pressure or the atmospheric pressure. So such temperature, at that temperature, the liquid start to boil or vaporize, because the vapor pressure has overcome the atmospheric pressure. Now how it is going to be occur? I say, for example, if we are talking about the normal room temperature, the substance will be existing to liquid form. Normally the vapor pressure is lesser than that of the external atmospheric pressure if we are providing the heat, so that the heat energy will be gained by these molecules. As well as we already said that the vapor pressure increases as the temperature increasing. So as we providing the heat is being increasing, or temperature is being increasing, and that's why the vapor pressure again going to be increased, and it will reaches the value equal to that of the atmospheric pressure or greater than that of the atmospheric pressure. As it become equal or greater than atmospheric pressure, it will overcome, the molecule will overcome the external pressure, or molecule will overcome the atmospheric pressure and will evaporate, will escape from the liquid and will vaporize or will evaporate, and that temperature we are calling the boiling point. The phenomena occurring, this vaporization or the boiling is occur at boiling point. The temperature, we are slowly increasing the temperature, so we'll reach at a particular temperature at which the vapor pressure become equal or greater than the atmospheric pressure and liquid start to boil. That temperature we are calling a boiling point. That's why the definition is called definition is such a way that the temperature at which vapor pressure of a liquid become equals to the atmospheric pressure exerted by the surrounding. Atmospheric pressure exerted by the surrounding is called as boiling point. The temperature is called as boiling point. Okay. So as far as the assembly is concerned, there is a little bit difference between the melting point assembly and a boiling point assembly. Similarly, we have to use a Thales tube, we have to use a liquid paraffin, we have to heat it by side arm. All these things are same. The difference is the sample holder. So in the melting point determination, we had used a fine capillary glass tube to fill the solid substance, of which we have filled the one end. Glass capillary tube we have sealed by heating on the flame at the one end, and the open end is filled with the substance. So that was the sample holder in case of melting point determination, that is the fine capillary glass tube. And in case of the boiling point, we have to use the liquid sample, we have to fill the liquid sample into the glass tube, which is a fusion tube normally, which has around a diameter of 5 mm, and not into the capillary tube. Capillary tube is very fine and which has a small diameter, the liquid cannot be filled in that, and it is not convenient. So in order to convenient, somewhat wider glass tube, normally we are calling a sodium fusion tube, we are using to fill the liquid sample, and it is filled by the dropper, and it is easy to fill because it has a wide it is somewhat wide as compared to the glass capillary. And same way we have to tie this filled sample or the glass tube, particularly the fusion tube, filled with the liquid sample, maybe 2 to 3 drops, and that to be tied with a thermometer in same way that the sample is to be parallel to that of the bulb of thermometer, and that to be insert into the fusion tube, which is filled with the liquid paraffin. Okay, we have to insert the thermometer tied with the glass tube which has a liquid sample. Okay, and we have to immerse in such a way that it should be mid part of the between these two arms. It will reaches to the mid part of the between these two arms of the side arms of the Thales tube, and again we have to heat it by sideway. And same, the observation will be similar, that we have to observe or take an observation that we have to gradually increase the temperature, gradually slowly heat, and we have to observe the temperature at which the liquid start to bubble or liquid start to boil, and there is a first bubble comes due to the boiling of this liquid, and that at what temperature, or at that temperature at which the first bubble start or liquid start to boil, the temperature should be noted down, and that is the boiling point of a liquid sample. Simple, we have to note down the temperature at which the liquid start to boil or the first bubble will come out. Precautions and all the assembly is similar, that is Thales tube, liquid paraffin, heating side by heating, all the things are similar to that of the melting point determination. The difference is that the sample holder is different, that we have to use a wider fusion tube instead of the fine glass capillary to fill the sample. That is convenient to fill the sample. Remaining is same. For the more accuracy, we can take 2 to 3 observations and take a mean of that or average of that observations or reading, or particularly the temperature that we are calling a boiling point. Okay, and same precaution we have to take. We have to never wash this Thales tube before its use and after its use. Okay, just we have to drain the liquid paraffin, fill the liquid paraffin, use for the experiment, and little bit we have to cool it and drain the liquid paraffin and keep the thin tube as it is without washing. Okay, so this is the way. And thank you for watching this experiment, boiling point of this substance. And regarding the animation of these boiling point of the substance, I had already shared into the Moodle. Please refer the animation and the demo for the experiment. Thank you so much.